Are you talking to me? There's nobody else here, so I guess you must be talking to me. Are you talking to me, punk? And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Shit. Stupid fucking thing. Of course, like on camera, like every goddamn prop ever made just breaks down. What the fuck? And I gave a great performance and the fucking prop left me down. Okay, let me try that again. It's like really angry, like, Sam Jackson just wasting some, popping the cap and some, there we go. Shit. Ran out of rubber bands. Anyway, this is a rubber band gun. I got it. Really cool, isn't it? Okay. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah? I feel totally cool. I've been like walking around with it all day. I feel like the ultimate badass, with a balsa wood rubber band gun. All women are two women. All women are two women. In another post I put up, I once said that all women are dogs. I really did. It's right here. You can go check it out. It's not what you think. It's not that all women are bitches. No, it's that all women should be treated like dogs, and by treating them like dogs, you will be more sexually successful. That's what that post is about. In this post, I'm going to argue the same issue, but from a different direction, which is this. You see, all women are both the actual person who they are, and they are sexual beings. Or let me rephrase that. They are surrounded by a sexual packaging. Think of it like a present. See, you have a present, it's in a box, right? Now the box, the gift wrapping with the bow and stuff, it can be very colorful and very pretty. But what's in the box is kind of shitty, right? And of course, in the opposite way, you could have like a package that's, wrapped in newspaper print for all I know. And you tear off the newspaper print and it's a beautiful present, whatever. It's the thing that you've always wanted, right? See, the packaging and what's inside the packaging, they're two separate things. A lot of guys confuse the packaging with the person. A lot of guys confuse the sexual attractiveness of a woman with who she actually is. I mean, how many times have you been with some guy, talked to some guy, he's telling you about his girlfriend. And he's telling you his girlfriend is like hot and she's great and she's this and that and the other. And you meet her and yeah, she's very attractive, but she's a fucking bitch. I mean, a real fucking cunt. A real piece of work. How many times does that happen to you? It happens all the time. Because the guy is confusing the two women that are all women. He's confusing the actual person with the sexual packaging. How many times have you known of some couple, or maybe it's happened to you, that you're with somebody and they're boffing each other's brains out all the time, you're fucking her day and night, and then all of a sudden, like 6 months into the relationship, all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to see you anymore. I'm like, done. Because you were confusing the sexual packaging with who the person was, and after 4 or 6 months, you get to know who she actually is and you want no part of her. You see what I mean? That happens all the time. Confusing the sexual packaging with the actual woman is, from an evolutionary perspective, just perfectly natural. Because after all, from an evolutionary perspective, what does nature want? Nature wants men and women to be fucking. That's what it wants. To have more little children running around and fucking eventually, right? Okay, so the sexual packaging of a woman attracts a man. You see a woman, she's got a great figure, great face, eyes, tits, ass, hair, whatever, and you're attracted to her, to the sexual packaging. Now, that's all good and fine for reproduction. But if you're talking long-term in terms of a relationship, in terms of any kind of meaningful relationship, you want to know who she actually is. So you want to consciously and very deliberately cleave the two people that make up every woman. You want to cleave away the sexual packaging so that you can focus on who she actually is. Now, this is actually a very good exercise, and I do it all the time, and it helps me, and I'll explain why. You see, when you meet a woman who is sexually very attractive, you focus on that, of course. But if you consciously and deliberately try to ignore her sexual attractiveness in order to focus on the actual person, what will happen is that by pushing that stuff aside, the sexual attractiveness, the sexual packaging, your anxiety level will decrease. Because when you see a beautiful woman, you want her. Your desire makes you anxious, makes you spur out, makes you be an idiot, right? If you consciously and deliberately set aside that aspect of the woman and just focus on her as a person, ignoring how sexually attractive she is, your anxiety will decrease. You won't be spurging out like you normally do, like I do, like every guy does. You'll start to spurg out less and focus on who she actually is and get to find out if you actually want to be with her. Because there are lots of women that they're all good and fine for a one-night stand, but you don't want to be around them long term. But the problem is that, see, if you allow the sexual packaging to overwhelm you, you're going to get screwed. You're going to find out later that she's awful, and maybe she got pregnant by you and you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you do this for two reasons. Number one, to be more sexually successful. Because by setting aside her sexual attractiveness and focusing on her, you'll be less spurgy, more natural, more attractive. You'll do better with the woman, right? And by setting aside her sexual attractiveness and focusing on her, you'll get to know her. You'll get to know her as she actually is. Okay? Think of that girl you know that you really like her, but you don't find her attractive at all. I mean, we've all had that friend. That girl we know, that she's great, she's smart, she's fun, you tell jokes and everything is funny and you like the same music and the same TV shows and all that shit, but you just don't want to sleep with her. You find her just a great person, right? And what happens inevitably? She's crazy about you. She's absolutely over the moon over you. Okay? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. It happens because you're focusing on the person. Paradoxically, see, this is what women want. They want the guy to focus on them as people. Women need the sexual packaging to attract the men, but what they really want is for the guy to be focused on them, on the real girl, not the sexual packaging of the girl, right? It's really fucking funny. In a very real sense, the sexual packaging gets in the way of the relationship. It attracts the guy, but the sexual packaging makes him nervous. Nervous enough that he spurgs out. Nervous enough that he doesn't focus on the woman, he focuses on how hot she is. You see? See the tragedy of the situation? Now, see, deliberately setting aside desire, deliberately ignoring the sexual packaging, it's actually, if you want to think about it, it's the basis of one of the great religions on earth, Buddhism. Now, think about it. What is Buddhism based on? Buddhism is based on the notion that if you ignore desire, you will be happier. The basic mechanics of Buddhism is as follows. If you have desire, if you want something and you don't achieve it, you'll be unhappy. Therefore, if you eliminate desire, you will never be unhappy. And therefore, the opposite of being unhappy is being happy. That, in a fairly grotesque way, is Buddhism. Eliminate desire, and you will be happy. Well, I don't really agree with Buddhism, but in this case, I completely agree. They are completely in the right. Eliminate desire. Eliminate noticing the sexual packaging and focus on the woman, and you'll do fine. You'll get the woman, ironically enough. It's a lot like chopping logs. You ever chopped a log? If you aim for the log, you're just going to chip it away. But rather than aiming for the log, if you aim for the base of the chopping block, you'll slice right through that log.